think in this kind of context, it's important to balance bravery and caution. You know, there's been a few advertisers I won't mention recently that sort of made some mistakes, not being sensitive enough to the political environment or mores. And I think you do have to be careful and really just look at aligning your messaging and your support and your placement with your core values as a brand. You know, it's a tough time to be too brave. So the social and political climates in a lot of countries is challenging, where there's just sort of change happening and a lot of sort of counter movements and movements happening. And I don't necessarily think it's an advertiser's role to play in politics. I think the advertiser's role is to consider its core values and look at issues and causes that align to those values and connect with those, because those become more authentic, back to the earlier point. But I think I'm a big bravery person, but I kind of take a measure of caution in this current climate to be a little too out there, a little too forward, taking a position on something. I think on the advertising side, one thing we've done is we've really taken a hard look at how we assess impact. And it's moved way down the funnel. If you remember, you always talk about the funnel. It's not, no one talks about awareness anymore. Hardly anyone talks about consideration. We talk about purchase intent. We talk about, do we actually change someone's intent and behavior with the messaging we have out there? And that's been a real shift over time that we've become really good at. And the other thing is rapid iteration. I mean, advertising didn't used to be about fast change, because you made ads that took forever and you know, shot them and it took forever to edit. Now I can iterate and edit and change and switch creative very quickly as I learn. So it's more live and dynamic. Consumers have to opt in more and more. As digital video becomes a bigger part of the play, consumers generally have a choice to skip or skip shortly thereafter, and you need to engage them. You need to entertain them, and that's, you know, a big factor going forward. I think the value of social media is a play to enable us to reach consumers who might opt out generally of advertising, because when a friend recommends something or something feels curated specifically for them, they're more open to it. So I think that's a great option for us, leveraging social media for less engaged people. I think that you know, the data tells a story in and of itself generally, and if you're attuned to it and you can leverage it, you get more connected and specific with the consumer. So we, for example, really tap into people's passions, sports, entertainment, and we message according to those passions, and that's one sort of not technical way of using data, but an emotional way of leveraging data that I think is really valuable. The other side of it is more and more we're held accountable. You know, all of us have to prove the value and the outcome of our efforts. So to have clear goals and metrics in place that you can then say, hey, we said XYZ and we accomplished XYZ, helps with support, funding, you know, all that kind of thing internally. There is nothing yet that can replace the scale and immediacy of broad television. So I'll give you an example. We had a program recently on Girls Do Science, and it was really encouraging girls to stay in science, so we have more women in technology. And the first year we did it was digital only. Within the first couple of days, we had maybe 5 to 7 million views. The next year we had a better social program, a little more insight, and we got up to like 15, 17 million views. The third year we did about 6 or 8 spots on television, and we got to 60 million views. So the point isn't either or, digital alone, social alone, or TV alone, but the combinations do complementary things, and it's really where the impact still lies. If you're looking at scale, TV still plays a very important role.